Absolutely. No, I'm so excited about the US. Of course, I'm excited about Canada as you know, someone who lives in Canada, but the US, like you said, they lack that number 9 or even just a player during the World Cup who could take that quality shot on target and get them that goal. But I think that if they're able to add that, even that game against England, I was so impressed with the US, and I said that was almost that one component of the game that they were missing, that if they had, that they would have walked away from that game with a win. So I'm so excited to see, you know.
By the way, that, you know, I looked at it. I remember, you know, calling the game, and I felt it. Sometimes you rewatch a game as well because, you know, calling a live game, sometimes there are nuances that escape you. But, you know, I don't know if the U.S. is that far. I just think it takes confidence and a little bit of composure, because that's what was missing. It's not. I mean, it's easy to say that they were missing the number 9, but what does that mean? It's not like U.S. is going to come up with you know, Karim Benzema, Lewandowski, or Harry Kane, who are automatic in these positions. But I think it's maybe lack of experience. That final pass was always an issue. So it's a little bit, you know, a confidence and composure. And sometimes managers can take the existing players and create an environment where you know, they're successful. So the same players could have had, you know, different outcomes in that, but for whatever reason, maybe they just weren't ready for it just yet. It could be that.
I completely agree. And again, I mean, I didn't play at your level, but I played on the junior team here in Canada and went to a junior World Cup. But experience is huge for any athlete in any sport. And I say that about Canada because a lot of people say, oh, Canada didn't even get a point. And I remind them that not a single player on that team had ever been to a World Cup. So now when you head into 2026, there's such a large opportunity to build on that experience. And they have to, because now they've laid that foundation down of getting that experience. And they have the talent. They have the players. Alphonso Davies is one of the best left backs in the world. Eustáquio, you know, he was doing so well in the Champions League right before the World Cup. You know, Megs Kevin De Bruyne in the game against Belgium. So that foundation of experience, I think, is huge because it gives you the confidence to do things that you see some of the top footballers in the world doing. So I agree to that statement with the US, and that's why I'm just so excited about what the sport here in North America looks like going forward.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for Canada. I know them well, played against them many times. As you know, I've you know, worked in Canada for TSN, and you know, I think I did one game. I'm trying to remember which one was Canada. Look, I mean, the start was tremendous against Belgium. I think, you know, that put Canada on the map because of the, you know, the quality, how relentless they were, and you know, afterwards, even in the other games, they're not too bad. I think, you know, your manager probably, you know, regrets some of the words because, you know, I mean, you know, this is not why they didn't, you know, win those games, but, you know, eventually, yeah, you need that little bit extra quality, right? I mean, you know, after a game like this, all of a sudden everybody's kind of looking at Canada and said, wow, we didn't expect this, right? So everybody started to pay attention. You couldn't fly under the radar. So there's always a positive and a negative because nobody expected Canada to play the way they played in that first game against Belgium. And all of a sudden, the next two opponents are like, wait a second, you know, this is a real team. And we know Jonathan David and Kyle Larin and Taylor Buchanan. I mean, there's a certain amount of quality. I think Canada is sort of in a situation that we were, you know, in 1994, right? So now, you know, that World Cup in '94 was a catalyst for everything that happened, everything good that happened in the United States in terms of soccer. The continuous development of the national team, the emergence of Major League Soccer, a lot of money went into that, right? And I think the U.S. soccer is benefiting from that. For Canada, this, I think, you know, this past World Cup was kind of, you know, here we are. We can play this game, right? Because really, you know, 80 or 90% of the time, or 90% of the people didn't think that, right? And now being a co-host in that one, I think those 4 years are super important as well, because it could be a catalyst for things to come in the future if the four years are not wasted and Canada goes from strength to strength. What I mean by that is, yes, get the points. You know, there's a goal, so that's a good thing, right? The first goal was a Fonzie, right? I think it was Fonzie. So at least you can get that out of the way. People don't, you know, that narrative is out. But I think it's going to be key 4 years, and it's good. It's good for this region. I've always said that even before the World Cup. You know, I mean, we have this banter between US and Canada when we were players. I don't ever remember losing to Canada. I think we won all the games, but it was always a tough game, not one that I remember we looked forward to, right? Because it was always physical and that extra rivalry was there. But I think for the development of CONCACAF, and it's massive because. Mm-hmm. On one hand, you could say, well, yeah, we don't need another good team because that means we're always going to be there, right? The World Cup's bigger. Everybody's going to be there anyway. But I think, everybody gets better when you have tougher games within the region. So it's not just about US and Mexico, because that's what it used to be. And Costa Rica from time to time. Now you have Costa Rica. Now you have Canada that comes in. I mean, we can't forget that Canada did win the World Cup qualifiers, right? Ahead of Mexico and United States. So I think that's good for the region and for the teams in that region, because now you're adding another competitive team into it.